Would you believe it? Over 4 million people have rooted their lives in a land with one massive question: how does this place shoulder a quarter of America's food supply? Look, dry grass blazing, and hills as barren as the surface of Mars. It's almost comical, isn't it? In reality, our eyes are glued to the center of California, a stark red spot on the map that almost everyone ignores. But in the blink of an eye, the pastures turn lush green, and golden wheat glows under the evening sun. What kind of dark magic just happened in this dead land? Mention Collie, and your brain defaults to the vibrant beaches of Los Angeles or the proud Golden Gate Bridge. But ladies and gentlemen, Mother Nature deliberately sculpted a massive rock wall right across it, turning this place into an impenetrable 3D fortress. Guarding the east are razor-sharp granite blocks, and the freezing, snow-capped Mount Whitney. Climb over. Go ahead and try if you want a taste of absolute despair and the Western Wall. That's the relentlessly winding Coast Range. It pins this land tightly in the middle, just like a giant hiding its exclusive treasure. Look at those storm clouds carrying water from the Pacific. They roar forward, only to dissipate because they are completely blocked by the mountain wall. The ocean breeze can't get in. But what if we sprouted wings and glided over these giant peaks? Welcome to the Central Valley, a gigantic smear of color running along the strip of land, incredibly lush and flat. Its length rivals a coastline. Try mapping it onto the US East Coast. Wow, it stretches all the way from New York to North Carolina. And here's how geology divides power. The north is the watery Sacramento, but the southern two-thirds is the final boss, the San Joaquin Valley, stretching from its namesake river all the way down to Bakersfield. So vast that the curvature of the earth swallows the distant mountains whole. Winter here is like a horror movie. A thick layer of ground fog blankets everything. Do you ever wonder where the real secret lies? Stop looking at the ground. Look up at those snowy mountains. The answer is erosion. For millions of years, the mountains have been grinding themselves down, washing away into the most fertile silt on the planet. Those high, snowy peaks, they are a massive natural reservoir. When spring comes, the meltwater comes roaring down into the valley, converging into a breathtaking blue lake, a literal gift falling from the sky. With this terrifyingly huge area, if it split into an independent state, oh, the geography game has only just begun. With the precious water from the snowy mountains, farmers performed a miracle, turning a desert into a giant oasis. They cultivated endless orchards. Look at those juicy grapes being harvested. Who would dare believe this was once a dead land? Canals crisscross, giant pumps roar day and night. They even created vast flooded rice paddies right in the middle of a dry valley. Such an audacious intervention. And here is California's white gold almonds. Machines violently shake the trees, raining down nuts. Next to it is an endless tomato kingdom. Harvesters sweep through swiftly and precisely. Farming here isn't done by hand. It's a literal money-printing industrial machine. But wait, look at this paradox. Goods hastily boxed, trucks speeding away, and then cutting back to the conveyor belt in the canning factory. Yes, that's the frantic pace of capitalism. Everything must be fast, faster. But nature never gives anything for free. The earth begins to crack. Vacant eyes stare at withered orchards. The mega-drought has returned, extracting too much, replenishing too little. Rivers are cracked and dry. Massive reservoirs are now just pathetic mud puddles. Desperate, they frantically drill holes hundreds of meters deep, draining the last drops of ancient groundwater. The consequence? You are witnessing a silent catastrophe. Bridges sag. The ground is literally sinking by meters. Topographic maps glow red with deadly warnings. And boom, a chain reaction. Subsidence tears up asphalt like an earthquake. Giant water pipes burst open. Is this the end? No, humanity doesn't surrender easily. New dams, spillways, and water recycling plants rise up. All data streams into a tiny smartphone. They even cover canals with tens of thousands of solar panels, generating electricity while preventing evaporation. Absolute genius. With drip irrigation technology, every drop is cherished, precisely distributed through sensors buried deep in the soil. And so, the arid valley shudders and is reborn once more. Fields turn lush green again under the blazing sunset. But how long can this fragile balance be maintained? But let's hold off on the giant machines for a moment. Look at the satisfied smile of a child tasting a sip of sweet orange juice in this supermarket. Little do the customers know that to trade for that convenience, thousands of kilometers away, farmers are frantically plowing and tearing up every clod of dirt to force seeds to sprout. Fertilizers pour down. Helicopters roar through the sky, spraying from above. Everything is subjected to extreme intervention to create a massive artificial golden sea of wheat. The radiant smiles on Orange Harvest Day last only for a few fleeting seconds. Immediately, the oranges are thrown onto trucks, dropping straight into the ruthless cold press assembly line, tightly sealed into plastic bottles, and perching smugly on supermarket shelves. The fruit didn't even have time to breathe before turning into profit. And here is the final stop. Giant megaports are hastily loading tens of thousands of containers onto iron ships crossing the ocean. It doesn't stop there. Wheat is swept up by combine harvesters the moment it ripens. Grain pours like a golden waterfall, filling bottomless silos. Through a rumbling conveyor system, they flow straight into the ship's hold. Do you get it? This little valley isn't just feeding itself. It's carrying a chunk of the entire planet's stomach. Amidst that insane industrial grind, everything still seems vibrant and poetic. Bees busy themselves with nectar, painting a picture of a perfect ecosystem. But don't romanticize it just yet. Look, dark clouds are gathering. A rare downpour unleashes, and the thirsty earth eagerly swallows every drop. Nature cruelly awakens dormant seeds, forcing tiny green shoots to tear through the hard crust to fight for survival under the sun. Night falls over the valley. In a small house, with a flickering warm light, a family gathers for dinner. So peaceful and cozy, yet right outside, the crystal-clear river hides a hunt. The swimming little fish has no idea the kingfisher's sharp beak has locked onto its target. Boom, a life ends swiftly. The law of the jungle always exists under this dusk, even as exhausted farmers fall into a deep sleep. Look up at that magnificent, starry sky. The colossal San Joaquin Valley, the billion-dollar machines, the frantic plowing. In the end, it's all just a sparkling speck of dust struggling to survive in the endless Milky Way. Leaving behind the noisy industrial grind, mornings here start with crystal-clear dewdrops. The farmer stretches and wakes up, slowly taking a sip of hot tea before throwing open the barn doors. A new rhythm of life cycles, again, unhurried and strangely simple. Clouds flash by to make way for the first rays of the sun. The fog gradually melts, pulling a patch of golden sunlight through the leaves. The sheep leisurely strolled out to the pasture. The chickens scramble after every scattered golden grain. while the sheepdog runs around barking proudly. So peaceful, right? Sparrows swoop and glide, meticulously hunting down every bug on the leaves. But that tranquility is instantly shredded. The tractor roars to life, kicking thick black smoke into the sky. The cold, sharp plowshares ruthlessly start churning up the reddish earth once again. Despite the hardship, radiant smiles stay on their lips as they watch the cool breeze sweep across the rustling, blooming rice fields. Thought farming was just about manual labor. You're mistaken. Drones buzz overhead, scanning every centimeter to suck in massive troves of data. Immediately, an army of agricultural drones rains down seeds with magical precision. Agriculture 4.0 is controlling everything. No more waiting for the heavens to send rain. The screen lights up with lush green charts. With a single, dry click of a button, tens of thousands of rotating sprinklers erupt simultaneously, painting perfect arcs of water in the air. No more waiting for the heavens to send rain. The screen lights up with lush green charts. With a single, dry click of a button, tens of thousands of rotating sprinklers erupt simultaneously, painting perfect arcs of water in the air.